We are getting rolling here. Let me make sure we're up. Let's see. Okay, I think we're up. My camera is very different tonight because I'm having a camera problem. So you get to see me with a very different camera tonight. Lexington, Phoenix, Oklahoma. Hello, everybody. So I'm having a camera issue tonight. I hope everyone can see me all right and it's working well. So I'm on a different camera. No big deal. I'm not on Facebook. I know. Something is happening on Facebook right now. There we go. Now we're on Facebook. It is up now. It was off for a minute. I don't know why. It might be the camera. It might be what we were doing with that. So I am on I had a camera problem tonight. So I'm on a different camera. No big deal. Life will go on. Welcome, Wisconsin, Anchorage, Alaska, Virginia, California, Lake Mary around the corner, Ken, Louisiana, excellent. So I'll warn you right off the top is we are having crazy bad thunderstorms in Orlando tonight, and so it has been torrentially downpouring, lightning and thunder. So we'll get through as much as we can if the weather decides to work with us. I will tell. I actually was just out to dinner. If you guys need a great chiropractor, and you live in the Savannah, Georgia area, had dinner with good friends of ours tonight, Dr. Steve Rudnicki and his wife, Jennifer Rudnicki. Wonderful people. So Savannah, if you live near Savannah, go there. They'll take very good care of you. That's where I was tonight before this, and it was pouring. Torrential, absolute downpour. So we're going to get through tonight. Oklahoma, Sioux Falls, welcome. Seattle, awesome. All right, so the first thing I need to tell you is everyone relax. Everyone stay calm. I'm going to tell you what's happening tonight, and it's going to continue happening. But you have to stay calm because there's a reason why this is all going down. So, first of all, the president today had, I think, like a 9-minute presser, and it was straight to the point, no messing around. We're gonna go into the events happening right now in the cities, at the White House, everything. And again, stay calm. I'll go through exactly what's going down. I have to teach you guys. A lot of you know it, but I'll teach the rest of you how this works and how the media plays into this, and how this has been going on for a very, very long period of time. But let's jump into some really good news first, which is the president is taking the WHO, the World Health Organization, out of commission. So let's jump over to this. The President of the United States today, which, let me tell you, I am extremely excited about this. Now, I was really excited the fact that he defunded it for the time being. Then he said they had 30 days to get their act together. And then on top of that, over the last week or so, have said that he believed that there was a problem with the virus coming out of Wuhan, out of China, and the World Health Organization knew it. So, less than a week or so after basically threatened to take out of WHO, they defunded, but threatened to keep it defunded. You see here, One American News Network, the president to terminate relationship with the WHO amid feud with China. So, I will tell you, I am extremely excited about this. Why? This is needed to happen for such a long period of time because the WHO is a corrupt organization. Yes, China is helping run it, but it's really not China. It's the globalists, it's the cabal, it's the Bill Gates of the world. It's all the people that need to go, okay? Just so you know that. They need to go. And this is a gigantic step. This, I believe, is a gigantic step towards getting long-term natural health, real cures, things like that, and letting the public know how this all really works. So the WHO going down, we do not want a globalist health organization. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and he also tied into the talk today, was they were getting rid of Chinese spy groups or organizations that have infiltrated our American universities, which is also huge, okay? Now, I did not necessarily know that we had Chinese spy groups in universities. I knew the universities were a mess. They're very liberal. They're radical liberal. And apparently, they're all being infiltrated by the Chinese. Now, it's not the Chinese people, because I don't want to come off as bigoted against Chinese, because obviously the Chinese people are very good people. However, the deep state, the cabal, took China over a long time ago and made it a communist country. So it's not really China, it's really the cabal China that took over the academics. And I will tell you, I'll be really curious how this plays out, because a lot of colleges say that they're going back in like the fall. I don't know if that will occur because of this. So you probably have your big prestigious universities like the Yales, Harvards, Oxfords of the world that are really, really infiltrated. But I'm curious how much the smaller universities are as well, even just the Division I universities. And I'm wondering, a combination of Chinese spies, COVID with the resurgence coming in the fall, as well as the now rioting going on, which who knows how long that's going to take. I think they're going to want to protect kids. Remember, Q talks about a quarantine and days of darkness and keeping soft targets, so keeping the people safe. Now, we thought that was COVID-19. We thought that our quarantines were that. Now, it's very possible, remember, resurgence, it's very possible that we go into another quarantine process in the U.S. before the election. Now, I'm not saying that I know for sure. This is pure speculation. This is just me trying to play the chess game with them and figure out what's going on. But I don't see how they're going to allow kids back into school systems if all of this stuff is going on at one time. And I will tell you, I'm going to be very careful how I say this, because I don't want to scare anybody. Tonight, I'm going to show you the scary stuff tonight, what's going on, and give you my take on it and tell you what's really going on. But my job is not to scare you with this. My job is to inform you and educate you on what is happening. But then also my job is to educate you, okay, how to stay calm, how to play this out over the next few months without freaking out too much, because you're going to see some crazy stuff. But I will tell you, this is going to get worse before it gets better. And that is not to bring the fear up. These people that are controlling this narrative, these people who have controlled this for thousands of years, they're not going to just go quietly into the night, even if they've lost the game. Remember, they have to be right. They must be in control. They are going to go beyond measures. Even if they've lost the game already, even if they've lost the chess game and the Patriots and Trump and the military are in control, they are not going down without trying to destroy this whole place. And they have said they will destroy the planet before they give control of the American people up. And how do they have control? Monetary system. Laws. That's how they control you. So, prepare as we go into the chaos tonight. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Prepare that there will be more chaos. It will look worse on TV. It'll look worse everywhere before it gets better. This is just the beginning. Okay? The president hasn't even talked about the storm yet. Keep in mind. This is just the beginning. So, just be ready. Be cautious. So, let's go back to the WHO. So, amid the feud with China, we terminate the relationship with WHO, not defund. We actually stripped $450 million away. Now, in the grand scheme of things, so $450 million isn't that much money in our budget. However, terminating is huge, okay? This is what he did. This followed tensions between both countries amid the pandemic, okay? Now, he added the administration will end special exemptions for Hong Kong, which I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to go into that article in just a little bit, okay? That's a different one. Now, he is ending the U.S.'s relationship right here with the World Health Organization, and he said he will direct those funds to other worldwide and deserving urgent public health needs. Now, I don't know what that is, but I hope that goes into some actual real good things. I hope that we can feed starving children all across the world in Africa and other nations where it's ridiculous that we have that. I would say, well, watch this. My audio is not working on here tonight either, which is very interesting. So we won't play that. But this is the article, okay? We are defunding and now we're terminating our involvement in the World Health Organization. So this is so huge. Now also, he spoke about no more special treatments, announces an end to Hong Kong policy exemptions and sanctions for national security law backers. You can go down here and look at this as well. Okay, so he warned China and pro-Beijing officials in Hong Kong that officials who backed the recent national security law will face sanctions, and Hong Kong stands to lose its preferential treatment. So he is knocking down all the walls, okay? This is so huge. Absolutely. So he announced plans to strip Hong Kong of trade and diplomatic perks. All right? He is going after globalist trade. So, if you didn't know, we, for the longest time, everything you go to the store and buy. Now, have you seen these dollar stores everywhere? Dollar Store, Dollar General, Family Dollar, whatever you want to call them. These are now, I'm not saying that they're bad companies necessarily, but the stuff is cheap, right? One of the things I noticed about, so if you get up in the morning and you make coffee and you get a coffee mug out, look at all the bottoms of your coffee mugs. There's so many coffee mugs made in China. Clothes. All of our little cheap trinkets, all of them are made in China. Now, that was not because we wanted fair trade with China. That was the globalist takeover of the United States of America manufacturing. When I was growing up, I heard about manufacturing in the United States. I heard about car companies. My grandfather told me all about this stuff, how we manufacture things in the United States, and we are proud to be using products from the United States of America. Yet, from, I don't know, at least in my lifetime, from 80s and 90s on to today, and if you go on Amazon, if you buy stuff on Amazon, and I'm an Amazon seller as well, I sell things on Amazon. Now, I chose not to go down the China route. I bought in the U.S. because that's important to me. However, so much of what you buy on Amazon and all these different places, and your local stores even, has all been China imports, Chinese manufacturing. What he's doing here with the Hong Kong issue is we are bringing manufacturing back home. Okay, so he is shutting off globalist trade. Now, what happened with all this manufacturing? Not only that, they bought out all of our land. All right, they bought all our land out. I don't know if you know this, but China owns a lot of American land, a ton of it. So they have literally sold us to China. Our previous politicians. Now, a lot of people will say, well, President Trump has also used China. Of course he did. I've used China, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. If you own a business, you've probably used China before. Not because you were intentionally trying to hurt the economy, but that's where our manufacturing came from, right? Now, if we swerve this back around and go back to the U.S., that changes everything. Now, I will tell you, prices will probably go up. You're going to start seeing prices that are actual real prices for America. Right now, the whole point, though, is hopefully we bring wages up as well, all right? If we manufacture here, that means there's more jobs here. So then we actually have higher paying jobs in the U.S. You won't need $15 an hour minimum wage if you bring manufacturing back to the U.S. because you will actually have real price structure. You will take away government welfare, and we can actually have high-paying jobs again, quality products made by quality American workers, and put America back on the map the way it was supposed to be again. So very, very important, okay? Completely important. Now, my hope for this also is that we actually get rid of the World Trade Organization. We also get rid of the United Nations. Now, he hasn't gone down that road yet, but that would be pretty genius. We must gain our country back. We must gain our land back, our property back. This really is, if we're pro-America and then everyone else in their country is pro their country. And honestly, as this goes forward, I also hope that we allow China to get China back. Because keep in mind, yes, they're a communist country. I don't believe they're a communist country by choice. Definitely not the people. I believe they're a communist country because the cabal globalists took them over. So I hope that the Chinese people get China back. I hope that European countries get themselves back. I hope there's a Brexit across the whole European Union. I know Italy's been looking at it. I hope there's a freedom for the Australian people. This is not just America. This is a globalist freeing of the population. The where we go one, where we go all from Q is not just America, right? We're the last stand because of the Constitution and our Second Amendment rights, but this is a planetary ascension or evolution into a new real world, okay? And not a new world order, a new real world for the people, for the population. Let's end hunger. You know, I keep going back to this. I grew up watching commercials. I think it was Suzanne Strother. I don't remember her name. One of the actresses who used to be on Archie Bunker, as a matter of fact. All in the Family, which All in the Family was a genius show for its time. I grew up loving Archie Bunker. not the racist aspect of it. That was all for play and all for show. The show actually was a good quality show because he ended up bantering with George Jefferson, which was also a fantastic show. That, like, we can be human beings and mingle with each other again, and like this is how it should be. That's why when I go into the riots tonight, these riots are completely orchestrated. Okay, this is not the American people. What I was saying is, I grew up watching these commercials of African children starving, foster children starving. It didn't matter if they're black or white or any other color. You had kids starving, right? And there's no reason for that. There's more money on the face of the planet. Like, we create money out of thin air, technically. I mean, it's all fiat, technically. So there is no reason for a child to be starving. There's no reason for a child to go without water. There's no reason for a child to go without shelter in this planet. No reason whatsoever. The reason why it happens is because the globalist cabal took over the entire planet. They mine diamonds from the African countries, and they screw over its population. They mine minerals as well, and that money could be put back in to the local communities, to different tribes around the area. This is how it should work, but they took it over. Wouldn't it be great if we actually made all of these areas financially and economically independent and stopped screwing them over for their resources and allowed every country, every continent in the whole planet to actually be prosperous? I mean, that's really what it's all about. I would rather have that world than what we're living in right now, and I believe with your help we can actually get to that spot. That is my happy and positive, and I'll end on another one tonight before we go into this stuff, because the middle of this is going to be meaty. I'm going to show you some things, and this is where it gets a little, I guess you could call it crazy because of all the stuff that's actually happening. But we're going to go into that, okay? So let's go to the first one. This just recently happened. This is like tonight, as I was getting ready to come on tonight, is the White House placed under lockdown as protests over George Floyd's death reach U.S. Capitol. So I have not cleared this yet. I just read it on Twitter. I have to go look. But I read that it's possible that Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle, his girlfriend, could possibly be on Air Force One right now. I don't know the accuracy of that. I'm going to check it again after I get off the show tonight for you guys. But it's very possible that he is. And that could mean that the president possibly is as well. So I don't know for sure. But right now, the White House is under at least light lockdown. A massive group of demonstrators had converged on the White House to protest police brutality, prompting the Secret Service to briefly place the building on lockdown as tensions run high between marchers and police. Okay? Let me see if I can play this. I don't know what it looks like. And again, my audio might be off, so my volume's not playing on my side. For some reason, my computers went haywire tonight along with the camera. I will fix it by this weekend, most likely. But let me see if this runs, if this plays. I don't know. Oh, it went to Twitter. Let's see what comes up. I have no idea what this is. And there we go. Okay, it is showing up. So I don't know if it'll play. It might be playing for you guys, but not for me. I don't know. So I'm going to let it play for a few minutes. Oops, get that out of the way. Oh. Hold on. I messed you guys up. I'm sorry. Here we go. Showing you the wrong screen. It is going haywire tonight. Let's see if we can get this working properly. For some reason, everything on social media tonight is not very happy. I'm going to restart it because it wasn't playing for me, and I want to make sure you guys get the correct video. So I apologize if it was playing and it stopped, but we're going to go again on this. Okay, there we go. It's only a 17-second clip. That is a lot of people. Again, I don't know what the audio is, so if they're swearing, my apologies to you. Yeah, stuff is going in and out. And some of this might be my area. We are under extreme storms tonight, so it could be also partially me. So if for some reason it goes off, it goes off. I don't really have control over that because the weather is really bad. But back to this. Now, again, I don't know where the president is right now. These are pictures outside the White House. Here's another one. I'm assuming this is going to go to Twitter. I don't know what this looks like. Or maybe it'll play. Good, it plays the game. Audio is kicking in and out. I don't know why that's happening, guys. Okay, so now keep in mind, these are not real. They're real. Obviously, they're happening. But they're not real from the standpoint of this is how false flags work. Let me know if you guys know what false flags mean. This has been happening forever. So pick one. 9/11 was a false flag. COVID-19 was a false flag. The Boston Marathon was a false flag. Parkland shootings were a false flag. Sandy Hook was a false flag. Now, when I say false flag, okay, I'm not saying that they didn't happen, okay? A lot of people misconstrue this with, oh, you're saying it didn't happen. No, Alex Jones got slammed for saying things didn't happen when he didn't actually say that, okay? So they're happening. The problem is they're all paid actors, all right? Now, they're not necessarily actors per se, but they're paid to do this. George Soros pays people to come in and do ridiculous things like this. Now, doesn't mean they're not mad. It doesn't mean they don't even necessarily feel this way. The issue is this is what's occurring, okay? This is how it works. They are bussed in. They are flown in. They are probably brought in by different states via car. There's many different ways it happens. I'm going to actually show you now as I get it up here on my screen, okay? It's over on my screen right now. I want to show this just right, okay? Let me go over again. Sorry, guys, I'm getting this spike. I was not expecting my camera to be messed up tonight. So, this is what happens. That guy right there, George Soros. Most of you by now know who it is. I have not looked at any reports tonight. I have not done a lot of research on all this stuff, what's going on right now, because I was out to dinner tonight. But George Soros is helping start a racial war that is not actually there. All right? Again, you see crisis actors in the middle. needed for Nashville, crisis actors needed for Las Vegas area. These are the actual, um, I guess you'd say, wanted ads that are put out. That's what they're doing. So this is how it works, guys. I mean, you've seen this with other events where it seems like there's the same people at one event that there are another event. This is how they work. This is what they do. This is controlled chaos by the deep state. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about this is I get rid of these windows. Okay, is that if I go through here, not that one. Now here's Jesse Ventura. I love Jesse Ventura. I love most of them, don't all of them. This is Minneapolis, okay? Beyond painful when I see my neighborhood burning. Ex-Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura, okay? A no-win situation. Now, he knows how it works, all right? So this is the worst situation you ever imagined as an elected official because it puts you in a no-win situation no matter what you choose to do. Someone's not going to like it. It's true. No matter what they do, no matter what the president does tonight, it is not... No one's going to be happy with what happens, okay? It is literally something that can't be stopped. They bring in crisis actors to do this. You're going to see filming over the next several days. Right now, here's the crazy part. Right now, CNN headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, which I've driven by many times, is under attack by rioters. But the crazy part is CNN's not reporting it. Now, they're not reporting it on their website. I don't know. I don't watch CNN. I don't know if they're reporting on actual CNN, but they're creating chaos there. And keep in mind, the deep state makes a ton of money out of this, right? This happened in 9/11. If you've heard of the name Larry Silverstein in 9/11, so the first two towers, 1 and 2, went down. And then later in the afternoon, Building 7, which was the wild card, as they say, Building 7 fell in its own footprint. Larry Silverstein owned Building 7, and he took out an insurance policy, a very big one, before it was brought down. And then, before it was brought down on that afternoon, he told them to pull it. So Larry Silverstein made probably millions, if not billions, off the insurance of Building 7 on 9/11, which was a false flag. So this one, don't think CNN isn't making money. Now, there's a couple police stations, I believe, in Minneapolis, and I don't know all the areas. I'm doing a lot of study on this weekend. I've been super busy at the office helping a lot of people, so I have not been able to follow all this today. It was a crazy day. But they're also going towards Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C. So do not be shocked if a lot of Trump hotels in different cities like Chicago, Washington, Las Vegas are under protest, and they will start trying to destroy the buildings. Remember what Q says, and again, I'm not saying we worship Q. That is not what we do. We do our own research. We trust in ourselves. We trust in each other, and we get ready to prepare, or we get ready to act at any moment, no matter what happens. But as Q has said, there will be scare events. There will be false flags. Things will go down, all right? This is what's occurring. I believe we're going into more chaos, okay? Now, this is the other thing. Regarding the officer. So the officer was actually charged in the death, okay, of the gentleman, all right? The officer was actually charged in the death, meaning that is being put under control. So, President Trump also called the family, all right? President Trump called the family. They're not telling you all this information, all right? So as I look over these articles, it's completely insane because the president called George Floyd's family. The president even came out, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and said that this is such a tragedy that the DOJ and the FBI are investigating it, and then all of a sudden today, the police or the authority was charged with murder. Now, Was that actual part staged? I don't know. I haven't looked deep enough in that. I will tell you that these are the cities to keep an eye on. These are the cities that I have found through some of my research that they might be going after next. So New York City is going to be underway, if not already underway. I've seen some underway, but not big yet. New York City will go soon. Milwaukee, Houston, Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's a random one. Washington, D.C., of course. Atlanta right now. Kansas City, Denver, Las Vegas, San Jose, Detroit, Boston, and Chicago. All right. So this is all completely organized. It has been this way since the beginning. You know, if you watch any of the world events that have ever happened, this is exactly what they do. I don't want you to be afraid. Now, if you live in a city, if you live in one of these cities, I can't tell you what to do, but I would weigh my options to either get out or go away for the weekend or whatever you have to do until this calms down. Now, if you're not right next to it, you'll probably be fine. Obviously, the media blows this completely out of proportion, okay? But you have to make sure you're taken care of. This is why I said to prep, guys. You know, everyone thought the world was going to end when the quarantine started. That's not the problem. Now is where we have the rioting. And if you think they're just going to end this overnight, no way. This is going to carry on. I don't want it to carry on, but it's going to carry on, okay? Like, I think it was this morning or last night, I don't remember. A CNN reporter was arrested for not having a mask on or some crazy thing like that. Now, a lot of people said, oh, well, that's karma for CNN and they deserve it. Don't use it. So CNN is playing the sympathy victim card right now. CNN is called fake news every single day by President Trump and the administration, right? So, do you think they really got arrested, or do you think it was staged to get the reporter arrested, so now everyone would feel bad the reporter got arrested by authorities? They're trying to make authorities look really bad right now. And as I said, our authorities are mostly good people. 99.9% are probably good family people that are trying to protect us law-abiding citizens, right? You have the 1% or whatever it is who obviously are bad apples. And it might be a little higher than that. I don't know. But the protest, the actual action of arresting, they're trying to make everything look bad. Now, tonight, we have CNN headquarters being completely rioted by a bunch of basically teenagers. And not only that, obviously they're picking black teenagers because they're trying to run the race war, okay? They're trying to get this all started up again. Isn't it interesting? The CNN is not reporting on it, at least not on the website, but CNN is under attack. That's what they want you to think. CNN is under attack. Poor CNN. You know, and this goes back to the whole race thing. It's so funny. I don't believe that I have ever personally met, and I'm not lessening this for anybody else out there who's ever been or experienced racism. That's not my intent. I grew up in, and trust me, I grew up in redneck upstate New York. I can say redneck because that's what it was. And I don't care if anybody else says redneck. It's not offensive. It's funny. I have never personally been around anybody who was outwardly or overtly racist, okay? And obviously if I was, I would walk away and get away from them as soon as possible. But I personally do not believe that racism is as intense or is as widespread in America as they want you to believe. Not that it doesn't exist. I'm sure, yes, there are places where it does exist, pockets of it. But I believe in 2020, we have become inclusive enough of human beings that who really pushes the racist card is the cabal, the deep state, the globalists, and the media. The media wants you scared to death. They want you to believe that white and black cannot get along and we will destroy each other because we're different colors, which is completely, unbelievably insane. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And I will tell you, one of my sadness is that I have friends who are on Facebook that I saw earlier today who are completely bought and paid for into this whole racist narrative. And they have already bought and paid for the whole story that President Trump's a racist. All white people are racist. Right? White supremacy, like white supremacy, is coming back again in 2020 because if you're a Trump fan or Trump supporter, you're a racist, which is obviously completely untrue. Right? They're generalizing the entire thing, completely asinine. Right? Now, I am not saying that I know President Trump personally. I'm not saying that I know for a fact that he's not racist, but clearly, based on his experiences over life and us seeing him in pictures and video and him seeing him at work and all his friends around him and people that know him have said he doesn't have a racist bone in his body. However, they're going after him saying he is supporting white supremacy and he's a racist president. Yet he has brought the economy, he's brought minority unemployment before all this chaos to an all-time historic, never been this low number. Not only for blacks, but for Hispanics, for Asian, I mean, across the board. So, I mean, even if I think it was Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife or niece or something like that, like, she said he's an amazing individual. There's not a racist bone in his body. They've been around him for a long time. So, I mean, there was even times when Jesse Jackson said he was a great person and he helped inner cities and gave money to people. Like, this is the deep state cabal running false flags to scare everybody. And we need you guys to be above it. Obviously, if you're in a city, again, make sure you're safe and taken care of because this is going to get worse before it gets better. They are taking care of some business injustice behind the scenes. And people, the level of crimes that these people have committed behind the scenes. I'm talking about politicians, deep states, past presidents, etc. If the public were to find that out, as Q said, they will not be able to walk down the street. So if you think they're just going to go quietly, absolutely not. They are going to destroy things. They're going to start race wars. They're trying to start nation wars. They're trying to start a U.S.-China war right now. This is what they do. And this is all junk. But don't be afraid. Don't be scared because, yes, there's probably going to be shooting. There will be death. This is how they do it. And they've been doing this for a long period of time. And it's unfortunate. But as we put in justice, this is going to clean up. And we're going to come out the other end better for it. And the people will be held accountable. And then we can get back to living our non-racist lives where we all get together as humans, take good care of each other, do things with each other, and actually celebrate being human beings of all different colors, races, backgrounds. So, yes, that's what that is. Now, I'm going to take you into a couple of these things as well here because I want you to notice this. This is how it works, by the way. So, yeah, I went to InfoWars. I don't go there all the time. Van Jones, if you didn't know him, I believe he's a CNN personality. Van Jones is known from a long time ago. He was around President Obama as well. Now, this is the insanity. I'm not putting this up because I'm supporting it, obviously, but every white person has virus in brain. It's too late to be innocent. This is the insanity. Now, I don't hate Van Jones. I've heard actually he's a pretty decent guy behind the scenes. Keep in mind, he's not the same person behind the scenes as he is on camera. This is considered on camera, okay? So he says that white people block off or choke off black opportunity. I don't know anybody who's ever done that, so I can't agree with Van Jones. Now, Van Jones is being used as a pawn in the game. Van Jones is a globalist. He's paid for by globalists. That's why he's on CNN, okay? So this was the article. This is what he did. White people had a virus in his or her brain, and it was too late to be innocent. Like, this is the ridiculousness that they're pushing. This is why we don't watch mainstream media, okay? I mean, I didn't even read this part, but I'm going to read it now because I'm just curious. And so what you're seeing now is a curtain falling away. Look in the mirror at how you choke off black opportunity, how you choke off black dignity, how you behave. People are now fed up. People are telling me they're tired of hashtags. It's not the racist white person who's in the Ku Klux Klan that we have to worry about. White people in these situations are always innocent. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Teach me, educate me, help me understand. So anyway, that's what Van Jones does. Here's another one. Ellison, all right. Minneapolis, this is the stuff that happens. Antifa, That's an elected official, folks. Now, Candace Owens, who likes Candace Owens out there? Candace Owens is a genius. She's an amazing, powerful black woman that I actually posted the other day. I would not mind if she became president one day and she could be the first black female president. And let me tell you, if Candace Owens became the first black female president, I would be 100,000,000% behind her. I know so many people would be behind Candace Owens. She is a conservative constitutional voice. She makes sense. She understands exactly black history, and she is very proud to talk about it, and she understands exactly how it's gone down, and she tears into the Democrat deep state because she knows that they're center of it. And I guarantee, I have not even looked at her tweets tonight. I'll probably go check them out tonight and tomorrow. But I guarantee you Candace Owens knows exactly what's going on right now. I guarantee you she can call a spade, and she's going to call out even people of color who are behind this. She's probably going to make some sort of statement on the fact that these people in general need to get off the streets because they're being paid to be out there. They're not actually even mad. And the funny part is, if you watch the actual protests, not only is it black kids, it's also white kids. This is all completely orchestrated. But this was the Candace Owens article again, and it talks about, obviously, Soros, Antifa sympathizing attorney general. There you go. All right. This is all over death. There is the Twitter pic. Okay. This stuff is Keith Ellison, disgusting, honestly. So I will go on later and find out what Candace is saying because I'm sure it's absolutely fascinating. Now, I'm going to do something here that I wasn't planning on doing, but I think it might be a little bit fun. And that is, let's just go to live to Twitter and find out what's going on right now. And we'll see if there's a few things, and then I will finish off. I have something for you that I got to talk about that will help you and your kids, and then some cool wins this week, okay? So let's see what's going on in Twitter tonight. This is live. I have no idea what's going on, so we'll see what's happening. Fauci, there we go. Dr. Tenpenny's on fire all the time. Oh, here you go. By the way, here you go. Yeah, I forgot the name of those things. Crop circles, there you go. There's new crop circles, by the way. So the ETs made a crop circle of COVID, just so you know. All right, now keep in mind, they're not making that with rope and 2x4s. It's just not happening. This is actual real. This was in England, I believe, somewhere. All right. You don't just make that overnight. That takes more work than that, but it's pretty interesting that was going on. I saw that yesterday, actually. I saved the pictures. Okay, so there's CNN headquarters in Atlanta. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for you guys. Okay, there you go. So CNN headquarters in Atlanta, where they're going crazy. And I'm sure in the next couple days, there will be pictures and video of how this was orchestrated, and people will start breaking down the investigation of what's actually happening. Okay, but that's CNN. All right, here is Minneapolis, I believe. Yeah, there's Minnesota. So I'm not showing these to get everyone down. I'm just showing you this because this was going on. Oh, here you go. Does anybody know about this here? Does anybody know about the George H.W. Bush's state funeral, where Hillary got the letter as well as many others? The letter that fell out of their program and no one knows what was in it. Hillary getting a little upset. Hillary, the queen. Anyway, moving on. Let me see what else is going. Okay, here you go. So Mayor, that's not her name. Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, right? Princess of the New World Order has a special message for Donald Trump. She told Donald Trump tonight to F you. Now, she didn't say the word. She said it started with an F, ended with a U. That is the mayor. So expect riots in Chicago immediately. I'm just telling you right now because this lady is not a good person. And I guarantee you she's pulling them all in. She probably works for Soros. Let's see here. The president, more Twitter stuff. So I'm not going to go crazy through these. There's a queue. Today's JFK's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Was obviously assassinated. We think. Who knows? But JFK's birthday. Perfect. So I'm not going to show you a bunch of these. President Trump was again stripped on Twitter today of his tweet. So things are going to go down there. It's a crazy, crazy world, what we're going through right now. There is Fox protests, CNN protests. There is Van Jones running his mouth about whatever is making him money lately. And he is all part of this train wreck, okay? Got it. That's where I'm going to end there. I don't want to go into all that negativity right now. I don't want to show you guys that stuff. I'm going to look at it later. But this is what I need a plea to you guys, okay? This is a plea. This is a serious plea because this popped in my mind today. And this was after seeing a tweet, I think, from like Katy Perry or something like that. So this is my plea. Part of the programming of you folks out there and everyone out there, whether it's you who know what's going on or you don't know what's going on and you're not awake, and maybe this video finds it to you and you're not awake yet, but this is your moment of awakening, or if you just, again, are awake, there's many different ways they use for programming. One of the ways, obviously, is video, like we just saw. Now, we're awake, so we can see a CNN video, we can see a Fox News video, and we can critically think through it without being drawn in and being put in fear and scared and terror and everything else. But I want to tell you about another form that you may not know, but is really important because I see kids getting involved with it all the time, and that is the music industry. Now, my plea to you is, over the last, say, 2 months, a lot of us have shut off television, shut off news, completely thrown it out the door because we know how dangerous it can be for our eyes and watching, right? But our hearing, our sense of hearing, sound, music. Keep in mind, the majority of the music industry is also part of Hollywood, and their job is to program you. But even more scary and bad, but important, is they program your children, right? Now, I'm talking about the Katy Perrys of the world, the Lady Gagas of the world, the Madonnas of the world. This actually popped up, I remember now, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift tweeted something out, I believe it was this morning or last night. Taylor Swift stated that the president was promoting white supremacy and basically murder. Taylor Swift, just so you guys know, Taylor Swift is a full sold-out cabal member, right? These folks, these artists, were once artists, most of them. But then they were given a choice that they could continue to be just the person, or they could get the world handed to them on a silver platter by the music industry, and they can make a lot of money, but even more importantly, they could be idolized, immortalized, and admired. Think of the shows like American Idol, okay? They're creating idols, all right? Now, Gaga, Perry, Taylor Swift, those are just examples. There's tons of them, okay? And it's in country music. Don't think it's not in country music. Country music as well. These people are, first of all, worshiping Satan / Saturn, whatever they're doing, right? And look at Katy Perry's music videos. She blatantly, over the top, shows you her music video. One of her music videos is Ancient Egypt, where he is an all-seeing eye, and she is basically controlling slaves. That is a microcosm showing what you are. That's what they're actually putting it in your face. Now, the other thing is the lyrics. Okay, the lyrics. This is my plea to you. Now, as adults, you're a little less prone to being programmed by this. You still can be. The problem is the song has a good beat. It's got rhythm to it, right? So we listen. And I just named like 3 artists. There's Beyonce, Rihanna. There's a whole bunch of them out there. I mean, it's not just them, okay? It's all of them. We have to protect and save our children. Our kids are listening to this music, all right? They are grabbing and stealing the innocence of your kids before you even know it by hearing the... And now keep in mind, you're going to say, and a lot of you are going to say, well, they can't even hear the lyrics. They don't know what the lyrics are. It's hard to hear. No, that's not what it's about. The lyrics go subconsciously. The notes, the way the music is played, the rhythms are subconscious. They put you into a trance, all right? It's actually, they put your kids into a trance. And I will tell you, I have several kids, I should say kids, teenagers in my practice who I see. They are hooked on this music. They listen to every latest thing coming out. They're on their phone, following on Twitter, Instagram, etc. And the other thing I notice is when they write, these kids, their spelling is atrocious. I mean, their handwriting is atrocious. Their spelling is atrocious. They can't spell simple words. My 6-year-old has better handwriting and spelling than some of these kids at 16, 18 years old. And I'm not beating up on all 16, 18 years old and all kids. I'm just saying we have a generation of these teenagers and younger who are literally being programmed and stolen from you, the parents, right now. And so my plea is, whether it's you or a family you know at home, someone you know that has this happening to their kids, please break them from this trance. Because they're literally being put into a trance and being programmed to walk away, step away from the home. I mean, so many things. But the whole point is, if you just stop it now and break that, we have a chance of saving these children. I mean, music has been destroyed in the last, let's see, last 30 years. I mean, I remember personally listening and growing up with classic rock, a little bit of hard rock, but even before that, like, I think I've told you before, like, I grew up watching Hee Haw with my grandparents, like, and I will tell you, I will sit in a hotel sometime and be up late, and I used to turn on the television or whatever, and the Time Life commercial used to come on, and it was solely a sales commercial for a half hour, but I watched it not because I was going to buy it, but you got little, like, 30-second video clips of old school country music that was real music, and I like to listen to it. It was really good music. But today, and I still listen to like my truck. If I'm not listening to a podcast, which I usually am, I am listening to either a classic rock station or a classic country station, something that's older school, which is real music. All right, that's usually what I listen to, or I actually will listen to sometimes, like the Nirvanas of the world. So that grunge '90s, that was when I was in high school. The grunge '90s, when the Green Days of the world. Again, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, when they were all putting out really good music, right? That was before the death of music, in my opinion. Okay, when those great songs were on. But our kids are not listening to that today. Our kids are listening to synthesized music. Not even really good singers. They're not artists anymore. They have the music written for them. There's not even really a lot of good songwriters anymore. There's some obviously out there, but they are destroying and frying and disabling your children's brain and mind with subconscious, subliminal music, while also, when they're watching the videos, they're giving symbolism that your kids don't know about, and it goes in subconsciously. They're literally turning your kids and you potentially into New World Order Illuminati zombies. And so every time I walk by somewhere or I see or I hear the song, my ears actually now like peak up to I listen for the lyrics and what they're saying. So I've actually conditioned myself to not hear it. Now I'm not gonna say the beat's still not good. Like I can walk by and hear a Lady Gaga song, and yes, the rhythm is actually really good. That's the intentional part. But listen to the words, listen to the lyrics. And I will tell you, I do everything in my power not to allow my daughter to hear any of that music, not because I'm trying to hold her down and suppress her, but because I'm not going to allow her to be programmed by a New World Order globalist master. Just not going to happen. She'll listen to podcasts with me. She listens to some of her own stuff. But I want everyone out there to understand that please save yourself, save your kids from this stuff, and let other parents know that this is not okay. It's not okay to be addicted to garbage music that is programming them. It's not okay to be addicted to cell phones and tablets and all this different stuff. We need to save our kids, because let me tell you, if they're on their phone, guess what they're doing? They're watching this stuff right now. They're watching these riots. They're also watching these artists, which I guarantee you, now that we have disconnected from the World Health Organization, now that there's riots going on and a black man has been killed by a white man, I guarantee you, your kids on social media are going to be seeing this played out, and your kids are being taught in a liberal school by communists. They're being taught that it's okay to follow what's going on out there. Your kids might actually even get roped into possibly protesting because our government is doing a bad job and our government is hurting people, right? That's what the message is going to be. I can't wait until the Hollywood stars over the next couple days, most likely, or maybe the next week, they come out and they start talking about how the president is horrible. And I'm not saying you have to follow the president. You don't have to like the president. But this is completely staged riots. This is not what is really happening. This is staged riots, and they're going to teach your kids that it's okay to go out and loot and destroy police offices and all this different stuff. And this is not okay. We have to break our kids from this. And they're going to teach them that. They're going to subconsciously try to program your kids with Hollywood and music stars to do that. So you really need to understand that's going to happen, okay? I'm going to finish up with the fact that something very positive. I'm getting messages behind the scenes. I'm getting phone calls from you folks, which is, I mean, I'm helping a lot of people from a distance with their healthcare, and we're getting massive wins, which I'm really excited about because I love helping you and I love how fast it can occur. So I'm very honored to help you take care of that. But also, I'm getting phone calls of people changing their life. I actually had a woman today, Pira is her name, and she is actually moving out of, I want to say California, or no, maybe New York, moving to Texas because of what's going on. Now, I'm not telling you all to move because I said to move. I try to give you information, and you can do with that what you please, but she's moving to Texas to be more free because she knows it's a dangerous area for her to be in. She doesn't want to be around people that don't think like her. And she's moving to protect and keep her and her family safe, which is amazing. And then I had another woman today who has literally begun completely changing her life through her health. And she switched to organic foods. She's walking. And then honestly, one of the most exciting things that I was told by her today was that she is going out and she's helping her fellow man. She is helping her neighbors. She is asking what she can do to help them. And she said, honestly, like it was the message at the end of the night of please do me a favor. As I always say, go out there and serve somebody. Go out there and help somebody. Even with all this chaos going, you can defeat it by simply going out and asking your fellow neighbor, your fellow man, how can I help you? How can I do something for you? How can I make it a better world from you? What do you need help with? And she just did that based on that. And so let me tell you, stuff like that makes my day. Like, I already had an amazing day, but I actually got to end today with that person telling me that, and it was phenomenal. So I really appreciate that, because that helps me live out my purpose. So the more I'm helping you, the happier I am. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm going to take some questions, a couple questions now. We're not going to go too long tonight, because I'm so not thrilled that my camera is the wrong camera tonight and it's not working well, but we'll get it fixed. So not a big deal. But do you have any questions tonight? And I'll do my best to answer what I can. I did not do as much study today as I wanted to, just because of everything going on, a busy day. But I will answer the best of my apology. Somebody is either a troll, or they're actually very concerned with me, that they said they think I don't look too well. Well, lighting is a little off tonight because of the camera, but I am doing fine. I am feeling great, helping all of you. I'm going to get a little extra sleep tonight. I could use some sleep, but no, I'm fine. I'm not sick. I'm okay. I don't know if you're a troll or you're just asking a legitimate question. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, different camera angle is because my camera is, I have a camera problem. I might be going camera shopping tomorrow. Let's see. Should we homeschool this year? Good question. I really, honestly, guys, from a school standpoint, I know a lot of schools say they're going back in the fall. I question that. I'm not saying you're not. I just question it because I feel like it's going to get really chaotic, and I feel like it's going to also, we're going to have a resurgence of the virus, per se, as they say. I just don't know if we're actually going to have, I don't know if school is going to happen this year. I really don't know. Okay, somebody said I look great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I had a good night. We had an amazing day, or had an amazing week at the office, helping a ton of people. I was so busy I didn't have time to sit down today, and then I had a great dinner with friends of ours, Dr. Nikki and his wife, Jennifer, from Savannah, Georgia, and so it was just a blast. Got to talk with them, got to hang out with them, and then a lot of rain, which I like rain, and then got to come home and do this tonight. So, and I'm going to have a fun weekend, because we're all going to be positive this weekend, right? We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend, and we're going to combat all the negativity of these insane designed riots out there. Your job is to go have fun, be positive this weekend, okay? And go help human beings, because that's what brings our energy levels up, okay? Someone asked me about the Q map or the Q clock, okay? The Q clock supposedly ended today because it was JFK's birthday. Now, do I think it's over? No. I don't fully know a lot about it. I'll probably be doing some research on it this weekend. I'll ask my buddy Dr. Mike Reed, who it seems like you guys all love, so I'll have him back. He's really good on that stuff. But also, I've also heard viewpoints that it's kind of like the Mayan calendar. It didn't mean it's over. It just mean it reset. So I don't know yet. We'll find out, okay? Awesome. A couple more questions, then I'll let you guys have a wonderful night, okay? So Arizona Governor says the schools will be open as scheduled this fall. Okay, we'll see. Let's see. What else do we have question-wise? Do I know any good chiropractors in Michigan? I have a lot of chiropractic friends in Michigan. You have to let me know where you're at. I know a lot in the Ann Arbor area and Novi, stuff like that. So you'll have to let me know where in Michigan. Reach out. How are the crop circles made with UFOs? I personally believe they're UFOs. I believe they're too detailed to be people. That's my personal opinion. Will Dr. Jason Dean be hosting homeschool online? I don't know that you want me teaching your kids. I do not have the gift of teaching kids, even though I love kids and I help kids every day. By the way, I got to adjust. I gave a chiropractic adjustment yesterday to, I believe, an 8-year-old, or no, I'm sorry, not 8-year-old, an 8-day-old little girl. So her mom, who's been a patient of ours for a long time, just gave birth 8 days ago, and I got to adjust the 8-day-old baby yesterday, which was so much fun. Yes, I adjust little 8-day-old babies. It's not my youngest, though. 8 days old is not my youngest. I believe I also adjusted a little boy years ago at 5 days old, and then my daughter was the youngest I adjusted. My daughter I adjusted at 30 minutes old. So I adjusted my daughter's the youngest. I adjusted her at 30 minutes old after she was born, literally right after she was born. Cool. Let's see. What other questions? Do me a favor. If you have chiropractor questions, just shoot me a message because it's easier. And we'll put together all the chiropractic people in the country as best we can and get you out to them, okay? I appreciate you asking me the question. Keep asking, but message me so I can get you to the right people. Good. Let's see. Questions. I love how everyone's getting their babies adjusted. That's fantastic. Was going to ask me about a chiropractor in Glen Allen. Let me know. Again, chiropractors, I will help you find them, okay? Maybe I'll even put a post out there. Kristen, you went to your first chiropractor today. You are awesome. Fantastic. Congratulations. Welcome to the chiropractic family. That is wonderful. Makes my day. Let's see. Why does a baby need to be adjusted that old? Because the birthing process is very hard on the spine, very hard on the spinal cord, and a lot of times the top bone in the spine, which is the atlas right here, can be off, and so you put that back in alignment, and then you have full power between brain, spinal cord, and all the organs. So it's very important to at least check. Not every baby has to be perfectly adjusted after birth. A lot of babies don't have that issue, but a lot of times, especially hospital births, very, very rough on the baby's neck, okay? Good. Significance of May 29th, this is JFK's birthday. That's why. Is Trump going to be able to win after all this? Yes, I think he will win, yes. King John, I don't know. I'm going to research more of that this weekend. I'm still very skeptical of it, okay? Let's see. How do you take copper? If you want to take copper, get in touch with me. Get healthy at drjasondean.com. I am helping lots of patients, which I love doing. So let me know, and I'll help you with that, okay? There's specific ones. Is Trump winning this fall? Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't. A lot of people think that because the rioting is going down, no, because what's happening behind the scenes is more important, which is we're winning the war against the globalists. Okay. Let's see. Couple more. Do you read Periscope here? No, I don't read Periscope here. I'm working on getting the Periscope stuff up here right now. I'm sorry. I am reading Periscope because I'm reading your comment. But I don't always catch the Periscope comments. But if you have Periscope questions, I do check my Twitter feed. So let me know what your questions are, and I'll go on there and handle it for you. I will have no problem doing that. Okay. Is Cuomo going to be a real candidate? No, I don't think Cuomo will be a real candidate. Cuomo has no chance. Good. Let's see. Couple more. Are we going back to flip phones? Maybe. That's a good question. I've thought about that. Do I sell supplements? I do. I sell protocols if people want to do it on their own, but I also sell people who customize, who work with me as well. So the best way to get a hold of me on that is get healthy at drjasondean.com, and I will help you. By the way, if you have emailed that and haven't heard back from me, I have an assistant working on it now. There's a lot of emails, so we're getting to you. Don't worry, I'll probably work on some this weekend as well, because my goal is to help as many of you as humanly possible. I want to make sure you're healthy and ready to rock and roll. Let's see. And by the way, I will be up tonight, probably late because it's Friday night, so I'll be reading some of these comments, and I'll do my best to get back to some of you. I usually up a little bit later on the weekends. Are the 5G towers everywhere? I see what you look over. Yes, 5G towers are in a lot of different places. Don't panic on the 5G. I hear good things could be coming. And at least we know for sure 5G is not taking place all the way around the world or around the country. Huawei is shut down until May 2021 by President Trump. So keep that in mind as well, okay? Why are people buying a lot of guns right now? Because of riots. Everyone is getting prepared. So these riots are in the city, and obviously we hope that they stay there and that they get it under control. And if military, National Guard is to come in, they can control everything. But keep in mind, it is all orchestrated. But people buy guns because if this slides out into the country or into the suburbs, people want to protect themselves. Gun owners in America are the majority, 99%, are responsible gun owners. They're there just to protect their families. So you're going to see massive amounts of gun buys in the next couple weeks. Thank you. You're welcome very much. Okay. 2 more questions, and then we're gonna finish it off for the night. Okay. 2 more lucky questions. Let's see. Yeah, you're very welcome for answering the questions. I do the best I can. Plus, it's Friday night, and we'll hang out. We have no place to go, right? Okay. 2 more questions. Recommendations for menopause, energy gone, weight issues. Bunny. Okay. Well, there's a lot to that. Means your hormones are off. We are completely surrounded by toxins in today's environment, and for every female that I usually talk to that has a major menopause, weight problem, energy gone problem is thyroid and adrenals. The endocrine system gets messed up. We're surrounded by plastics all the time. There's so many things. Birth control can really mess somebody up. And so I work with them one-on-one to get them handled, find out the cause of it. And now today with Lyme and glyphosate, it really throws a female off and weight skyrockets. And until you find the source of it, you're not going to handle it. You can't just necessarily restart a thyroid or restart adrenal glands or the pituitary or the hypothalamus or the pineal gland unless you find the source of the toxicity to remove that and then support the system, support the organs so the body can rebalance its own hormones. My goal for any female or any male is not to add hormones to your body. I want your body to rebalance its own hormones through proper food, proper nutrition, proper supplements if needed, where needed, okay? But I don't like to bypass the body, okay? Good. 1 more question. I hope that helped out on that one. Okay. Let's see here. 1 really good question. Smoker, yes, it's possible to stop. Not a problem there. Good ways to stop. You have to do it through the nutrition is the best way. They're losing minerals. Good. Okay. Looking for 1 more. Okay, I'll answer this one because it's a wheelhouse. Ionic foot baths. Okay, I'll answer the ionic foot baths. That's a fun one. Thyroiditis too. Thyroiditis, same thing as I talked about with the menopause. You got to find the source of it. But yeah, I handle thyroiditis all the time. That's not a problem. A lot of Lyme as well. So for ionic foot baths, yes, they are legitimately real. Now, there's different ones, okay? There's one that's made that only physicians can get, and it's from a laser company, and it's escaping me right now. You want a good one that uses solely ions versus there's some that you actually put chemicals in. You don't want that. You don't want it put out. But yes, the feet will release toxins, okay? So I like foot baths. Now, I will tell you, as much as I like the foot bath, it's not going to solve the whole problem because you have to actually find all the sources of toxins in the body. Okay, so this is why I do the testing I do, and I know a lot of you keep asking about the testing. So if you would like, let me know. Maybe one night I will do a special live by itself on how we do muscle testing and how we do quantum muscle testing, okay? Because it is my favorite thing just about on the entire planet. But I'll have to do it on its own. I don't want to do it on a nightly session because I don't want to confuse everything. And plus, in here, the way my studio's set up, it's not easy to do. So I need more open space. But I will do that. But it allows me to find the source of where the problem is because, yes, you can get toxins out the feet. But if you have something in an organ, you have to get it out of the organ as well. Okay? And the organ will not always just release it. And also, fat tissue or adipose tissue. So a lot of women and men will gain some weight in this area and it won't come off. One of the reasons it won't come off is not because you're not exercising hard enough, because exercise doesn't take everything off, right? Your fat tissue or adipose cells hold on to heavy metals and heavy chemicals. And I always explain it like this. Your body wants to protect your organs, the vital organs, heart, lungs, liver, etc. So if your body fat is holding on to these toxic metals or chemicals, it will not just release it. All right? You almost have to find the key that goes into the lock to unlock the fat cell to then allow the body to release it and then out the bowel or the urine, whatever it may be. Sometimes it comes out the skin. I don't prefer that. I prefer the bowel. It's easier. You don't have to see it, okay? But yes, the body will not always just release that on its own. Now, I don't bypass the body. I let the body decide what it would like to use to properly detox itself and then open up the channels. And then, for example, if you have a toxic organ, I can't just take the toxins out. I need to support that organ. So whether it's a liver, heart, adrenals, kidney, pituitary, pineal, doesn't matter. You have to support the organ because ultimately that organ should always work well on its own. It's been overwhelmed by a toxin load, okay? But if I help you remove the toxin naturally and then build the organ back up, the organ can then start working on its own again and start battling the environment of toxins. I hope that makes sense, okay? But yes, I do love foot baths. I love saunas. I love all these different things. But along with those, you want to go to the source and make sure you get the proper source. And it could be multiple sources. There's people that have multiple toxicities across the board, not necessarily just one. The body will heal in layers, and you have to take the layers off as they come. That could be one layer, that could be 10 layers, okay? You have to get the body healthy enough where it will actually release those layers on its own. There was actually I listened to a podcast one time. This is not my podcast. There was a gentleman who was a doctor who didn't sweat, meaning no matter how hard he worked out, he didn't sweat. Now, he was smart. He knew natural health. He knew about heavy metal toxicity. And what he did was he went into sauna therapy. Now, he was also putting support in his body through nutritional means, organ support. He went into a sauna until he finally sweated. It took him months to sweat in the sauna. What he actually found out was through testing, he found out that his cells were so mercury toxic that it wouldn't let his body sweat because all the pores and all the lymphatic system was blocked by mercury. And so his body would not allow him to sweat out the mercury because all the channels were blocked. So a combination of support as well as the sauna actually helped remove those toxic metals. And then once the metals were gone, he sweat like a normal human being. But it took him, I think it was 30 or more days to actually get past that blockage with organ supplementation and support. So that's the stuff I do on a daily basis. I love doing all that stuff. It's a blast. And that's how we get people healthy. And I see people, my youngest patient, other than adjusting, is probably a couple years old. I one time had a 7-year-old come in with fatty liver. That's how toxic the food system is now. That I think he was 6 or 7. Came in with a fatty liver because of all the junk and all the food that his parents were feeding him. So I've had very young. I've had as old as I think 92. 92 years old. So I see him across the board. Help them all. But I hope that helps you. I went way over tonight because I love explaining some of the healthcare stuff to you. And it's Friday night too, so why not have some fun? Guys, don't panic. America is not falling apart. America is not under fire. There's some orchestrated, staged things going on, but I will tell you, you have to remain calm because as we go, this will get worse before it gets better. And optically, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So keep in mind, you are the power and the energy behind this country. It's you. You are, right? Me too. But you are the power and energy behind this country. If you are watching this, we need you to be mentally and heart online right now because we have to beat their system. We have to not allow this chaos to take control of our world, all right? And you need to, by the way, your responsibility now is once you know something, it's your responsibility to educate others. So whether that's you communicating directly to them, whether you're telling somebody in a phone call or telling your family, or even if you share the video, let them know that we must stay above this. We are the source to make this go right, okay? So let's actually do that. I'll be uploading more podcasts, so go check that out on iTunes, Stitcher. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell, follow on Facebook, share it, all that good stuff. This is how we're going to save America, and we're going to get behind our positive, appropriate, ethical leaders, and we're going to rebuild and make this country amazing again. And we're not going to let this stuff get us down in the news. We're just going to win the war, win the game, and we're going to save all of our children, our kids, and we're going to make this an amazing world again. So, guys, have an amazing Friday night. I'm going to probably take tomorrow off because it's Saturday. I'm going to get some rest. But we love you all. I hope this brought value to you. I hope we're continuing to help you. Let us know if you need anything. Get a hold of us. But have a wonderful night. Stay positive. Take care of you, your family, and everyone who surrounds you, and go serve somebody. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, signing off. Have an amazing Friday night. Bye-bye.